Now, you have been, as I said, in Cabinet before. You've been a Cabinet Minister. You've been in the Parliament a long while. You head up now the Senate Foreign Affairs and Security Committee. What do you believe the Federal Department of Foreign Affairs and Trade advised the Victorian government when it came to their proposition of signing up to the Belt and Road scheme, China's Belt and Road scheme, a project that the federal government had rejected?
Very interesting question. I don't know the answer to that, but I think we can all suspect what the answer might be, given the fact that the Victorian government is refusing to make that advice available. You would think that if the Department of Foreign Affairs gave the Victorian government a clean bill of health on this proposal, Daniel Andrews would be waving around the letter or the email saying, look, all clear, all good. The department and the federal government said that there were no issues with this whatsoever, and here it is, go back into your box. The fact that they are seeking to hide this, I think, tells us everything we need to know.
Well, given that this advice has come from the Federal Department of Foreign Affairs, isn't the federal government party to it? Can't the federal government reveal what the advice was? Well,
that may well be something that some of us might seek to pursue at the next estimates in October of this year when the estimates resume. But undoubtedly there are certain protocols in place in relation to advice to state governments as to whether that is released at the federal level or not.
Well, it's some relief that that actually gets some advice from the Department of Foreign Affairs, even if it appears they haven't heeded it. But, I mean, what we know publicly, of course, is that China has been desperate for all sorts of countries to sign up to the Belt and Road project. It wanted Australia to endorse the project. We took the decision as a government. The government took the decision on behalf of this nation that it didn't serve our national interests. So how could Victoria signing up to it serve our national interests?
Well, in my view, it clearly does not serve the national interest. More importantly, I think the Chinese government was very, very interested in getting Australia or indeed a state signed up, because it then gives them credibility as they seek to sell the Belt and Road Initiative to countries in Africa, Southeast Asia, the Pacific Islands and elsewhere. And that is where I think Daniel Andrews has done himself, the people of Victoria, the Australian people a great disservice by signing up to this. And I hope that it's now, 5 minutes to midnight on this project, but I just hope he reconsiders.
Well, I can't disagree with you. I think what he's done is undermined the nation's foreign policy. Your Senate committee, what can you do about this? Will you call any Victorian officials or politicians to give evidence?
Look, there is the agreement between the parliaments that we don't seek to call each other or force each other to appear before each other's parliaments and parliamentary committees. So that's the protocol, and I think that ought to remain in place. But that said, I think we will seek to probe as much as we possibly can at estimates and find out what we can as to what the advice was. It is all well and good to say, I sought advice from the Department of Foreign Affairs, but if you ignored it, didn't follow it, well, it was of no use and was only window dressing. And the fact that the Victorian Premier is so reluctant or indeed refusing to release the information, I think tells us all we need to know. And Premier Andrews has done a great disservice, and history will judge him extremely harshly for giving credibility to this scandalous scheme that is not designed to help Victoria. It is only designed to help the Chinese communist dictatorship, and let's keep that in mind. We are dealing with a dictatorship that has a terrible human rights record.
Eric Abetz, thanks so much for joining us.
Always a pleasure. Thank you.